Hey everybody, so today we're talking about one of the most important moments in any lesson, and that is the hook. You're gonna hook them. Hook, line, and sinker, I call it. That first 5 minutes where you either get students leaning in, asking questions like, ooh, what? Or they get out their phones and they start zoning out or staring out the window or talking to their friends. And for our neurodivergent learners, that moment matters even more. Like, I cannot emphasize that enough. Neurodivergent brains need curiosity because their nervous systems and brain are scanning constantly for safety, novelty, and relevancy or meaning. So if a lesson starts with a random worksheet or open your notebook to page 4, they're checking out. They're gone. They're already staring out the window, and there's nothing you can really do. But if we start with a story, a mystery, a question, a puzzle, something that they can lean into, something that they can try to solve, you're not just getting their attention, you're activating curiosity and the reward system and motivation system in their brain. And that leads to engagement, which that's our goal, right? As teachers, we want our kids engaged. When they're engaged, they're not disrupting, they're not talking to their friends, they're not rolling around the floor or sprinting. So we're going to break down 3 strategies you can start using right away to build curiosity and anticipation using inquiry-based hooks. And everything we talk about today connects back to the Neurodivergent Toolkit. This toolkit gives you the scaffolds, the visuals, environmental organization strategies, instructional strategies, universal design, and templates you need to actually implement these ideas successfully and in a sustainable way to differentiate and make all of your learning that you're designing accessible to all of the students in your classroom. And right now, if you grab the toolkit, we're giving you our brand new Higher Order Thinking Activities for Neurodivergent Learners ebook as a free gift, and I'll go over that in a minute. So starting with the 3 strategies. Strategy 1, storytelling and narrative hooks. Humans are wired for story. Let me say that again. The human brain is wired for story. The brain literally lights up as if it's experiencing the story for real. Every story it listens to. Well, maybe not every story. There are really boring stories out there. But if you get it a good story going, you get mirror neurons firing, dopamine flowing, serotonin, oxytocin. So if you want feel-good chemicals in your classroom for your students, tell a good story. Students become way more invested in the learning. So instead of opening a science unit with, we're learning about heat transfer, what if you opened with, you're part of a forensic team trying to figure out if a suspect could have committed a crime based on body temperature. The room was 68 degrees. The body was found at 4 p.m. Was it even possible? Was it even possible? So now you have detectives in the room, and that's inquiry-based hooking. And when students feel like they're part of the story, or if you include them so that they're actually a part of the story, they want to solve the problem. And the problem is what they're learning. So this is where templates and planning guides from the toolkit and ebook really help. They let you structure these lessons so kids aren't super overwhelmed by the open-ended nature of inquiry. You can use the graphic organizers. There are planning sheets. You want to keep the lesson on track while still honoring student curiosity and the open-ended nature of inquiry-based learning, while still, considering executive functioning and the need for predictability, right? And in the free ebook, there's a section with ready-made lesson planning templates and question stems. Question stems are in the Neurodivergent Toolkit that are designed to activate curiosity through narrative. So this part of your lesson doesn't have to take hours to prep. It's dope. Strategy 2, curiosity gaps, aka you're gonna leave them hanging. So the second strategy is based on something called the curiosity gap. And it's used to hook in marketing, sales. It is actually interesting because it's like teachers are the last people to know about techniques like this. So it's the space between what we know and what we want to know. And our brains are wired to close it. It's called closing the gap. For example, start a lesson with, why does diet soda float but regular soda sinks? You're going to let them hypothesize, let them argue a little bit, then let them figure it out through the lesson. Don't answer it right away, because if you close the gap right away, you shut down the inquiry, you shut down the curiosity. You want that anticipation to build. You want them to feel the drive to know why and include them in getting there. That curiosity drives inquiry and keeps students focused on the learning. If you have students who struggle with executive function, the step-by-step inquiry scaffolds in the Neurodivergent Toolkit make this kind of lesson manageable. And there are executive functioning tips in the ebook too. You're going to get checklists, visual timelines, flow charts, guided note pages that help kids hold on to the question while they explore possible answers. So strategy 3, surprise and discrepant events. The third strategy is surprise. You're going to surprise your students. Who doesn't like being surprised? Actually, my husband doesn't like being surprised. So there are people out there. This is when you need to know your kids, right? You can warn them, prep them. So when something doesn't go the way we expect, it sends a jolt of attention and curiosity through the system. Like when a balloon doesn't pop after you jam a skewer through it, or when one can of soda floats and the other one sinks. That little jolt of, wait, what? Wakes the brain up, and it makes the content memorable. So not only are we increasing focus and attention, but we're also increasing retention and connection. Instead of explaining what happens right away, you're going to let your students investigate. Let them form hypotheses. Use the sentence stems and the question starters from the toolkit to structure small group conversations. There are also 4 discussion styles, the discussion types of activities in the ebook. And there is an entire section on Genius Hour and facilitating inquiry journals, which is perfect for this. And it is all laid out so you can try this even if you're brand new to inquiry. So here's the big takeaway. Curiosity is not a bonus. It is the engine. It is fueling your classroom and your students. And for neurodivergent learners who are often stuck in survival mode or disengaged from content because it feels irrelevant, it's not novel, it's not interesting, curiosity is one of the fastest ways to get the brain back online. But curiosity without structure, inquiry circles, genius hours, group projects without structure can be a setup for an explosion. It'll implode. It'll be chaos. That's why the Neurodivergent Toolkit and the ebook, they're so helpful. It gives you the scaffolds, templates, sentence starters, visuals, things that you wouldn't even think about with executive functioning and planning, and environmental routines to make these lessons accessible and sustainable for both you and your students. And right now, when you order the Neurodivergent Toolkit, you'll get the brand new Higher Order Thinking Activities for Neurodivergent Learners ebook for free. The ebook gives you plug and play activities designed to build critical thinking and inquiry skills with supports which support neurodivergent students that, actually need. And your neurotypical students, sometimes they need them too. Everybody gets cognitively tired. So if you're ready to spark curiosity and keep students engaged without chaos or shutdowns, comment needs below to get the link to the Neurodivergent Toolkit and your free copy of the ebook, or head to our website, which the link is in my bio. And you've got this. Together, we are going to build classrooms where curiosity leads and every learner feels safe,